Have you ever been so hungry that it almost hurt? Now imagine a hunger so powerful, so endless, that it turns you into a monster. Deep within the frozen forests of North America, there's a legend whispered around campfires during long winter nights. A story so disturbing that even seasoned hunters refuse to speak its name after dark. They call it the Wendigo. And according to the legend, once it finds you, its hunger will never stop. Long before cities, highways, or modern civilization, vast forests stretched endlessly across what is now Canada and the northern United States. Winters were brutal. Snow buried entire villages. Temperatures dropped so low that even breathing the air could burn your lungs. For many indigenous communities who lived in those forests, survival depended on preparation. Food had to be stored carefully before winter arrived, because when the snow came, the world could become a prison. And sometimes people got trapped. No animals to hunt. No plants to gather. No way out. Only hunger. It was during these desperate winters that the legend of the Wendigo was born. The Wendigo is said to be a creature that was once human. A person who committed the ultimate taboo. Cannibalism. When someone consumed human flesh during a time of desperation, the legend says they became cursed. Their body twisted. Their mind broke. And the hunger that once drove them to eat grew into something monstrous. They would transform into the Wendigo, a creature of endless starvation. No matter how much it eats, it is never full. Descriptions of the Wendigo vary depending on who tells the story. Some say it is tall and skeletal, its skin stretched tight across its bones like rotting leather. Others describe it as a towering figure with glowing eyes, jagged teeth, and antlers like a deer. But every version agrees on one thing. The Wendigo is thin, unnaturally thin, like a corpse that refuses to die. Its lips are often described as torn or missing entirely, exposing rows of yellow, broken teeth. Its breath smells like death, and its hunger is endless. But the most terrifying part of the legend isn't just the monster itself. It's how it hunts. The Wendigo is said to stalk the deepest parts of the forest, moving silently through snow and darkness. It can mimic human voices. Imagine hearing someone calling your name from the trees. A friend, a loved one, someone begging for help. You follow the voice deeper into the woods. But when you finally find the source, it isn't a person, it's the Wendigo. And by then, it's already too late. There are also stories that say the Wendigo isn't just a physical creature. It can possess people. In some indigenous traditions, the Wendigo represents more than just a monster. It symbolizes greed, selfishness, and the destructive power of hunger that goes beyond survival. Someone overcome by greed could be described as having a Wendigo spirit, because the creature's hunger is not just for food. It's for everything. More flesh, more power, more destruction, and it never ends. Throughout the 1800s and early 1900s, there were reports of something strange happening in northern communities. People claimed individuals had been possessed by the Wendigo spirit. Some victims described an overwhelming urge to eat human flesh, even when food was available, even when they were not starving. This condition became known as Wendigo psychosis. Those afflicted believed they were turning into the monster. Some even begged to be killed before they lost control. Historians and psychologists still debate whether these cases were real mental illnesses, cultural fear, or something else entirely. But to the communities living there, the Wendigo was very real. One of the most chilling stories happened in the early 1900s. A Cree trapper named Swift Runner lived with his family deep in the wilderness. One winter, his entire family disappeared. When authorities finally found him, he confessed to something horrifying. He had killed and eaten his wife and children. But what made the story even more disturbing was that a food supply post was located only a short distance away. He wasn't starving. When asked why he did it, he reportedly said something that terrified everyone who heard it. He claimed he had been possessed by the Wendigo. Swift Runner was eventually executed in 1879, but his story helped cement the legend in modern history. Even today, people who venture deep into the northern forests claim they feel something strange. Hunters talk about hearing footsteps in the snow when no one is there. Campers report distant screams echoing through the trees late at night. Others describe a feeling of being watched, like something tall and thin is standing just beyond the tree line, waiting, watching, hungry. Some researchers believe the Wendigo legend served an important purpose. It warned people about the dangers of isolation, starvation, and cannibalism during harsh winters. By turning these dangers into a terrifying monster story, communities reinforced a powerful rule. No matter how desperate things became, cannibalism was forbidden, because the price of breaking that rule was becoming the Wendigo. But legends like this rarely disappear, even in modern times. In fact, the Wendigo has become one of the most famous cryptids in the world. It appears in movies, books, video games, and horror stories. Yet many indigenous elders still ask people to treat the story with respect. Because to them, the Wendigo isn't just entertainment. It's a warning, a reminder of what happens when humans lose control of their darkest instincts. And maybe that's why the legend still scares people today. Because deep down, it isn't just about a monster in the woods. It's about something much closer. The part of human nature that can never be satisfied. The hunger for more. More power. More wealth. More control. A hunger that grows. And grows. Until it consumes everything. So if you ever find yourself walking through a silent forest in the dead of winter, and you hear something calling your name from deep in the trees, you might want to remember the old stories. Because if the Wendigo legend is true, that hunger is still out there. Somewhere in the dark. And it's still searching for its next meal. And the worst part, once the Wendigo starts eating, it never stops.